What's up, Man Dog Pod listeners? Thank you so much for tuning in to today's free episode. If you want to hear the full episode, it's available over on our Patreon, patreon.com/You'reTheManNowDog. We've got full episode audio and video for everything we've done, a huge archive of tons of fun stuff with all your favorite comedians. Check it out today. Once again, that's patreon.com/You'reTheManNowDog. Thanks so much, and have a great day.
You are the man now, dog. 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 You are the man now.
Okay, so we're all new parents here, and it can be a rocky road for sure. But I just want to address like any issues that people have, whether it's like about feeding the child or cleaning them or reading to them, anything's on the table, right? Because we did have someone last week who came in and they were asking about what books are appropriate for children, you know. And I asked this person what they were reading the child, and they said they were just reading him the dictionary. And I was like, I don't think that's going to really affect them. Maybe I don't think they'll understand it, but I'm glad you're reading to them. Maybe sort of scale it down. So I give that as an example because a lot of parents, you know, you think it's intuitive, but there's so much that's like a mystery. So you know, there's no judgment here. So it's an open forum if anyone has any issues.
Thanks, Tyler. I'm so tired, and I just need to jump right in.
Sure.
This is so hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It can be hard.
So I can't get the breast milk in her mouth. And it's so, I'm keeping the distance. We have like a foot distance, and I'm trying to get it there, and it won't go in her mouth. And I don't want her to have the formula, and I know the breast milk's better.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so I think I see the problem. I think the mouth needs to be on the breast.
Excuse me?
I know. I'm sorry. I hope. And again, no. I
think that's a boundary violation. I don't think that's safe.
For the child or for the parent? Let's be clear, because because the child will starve without the nutrients that your breast milk is giving him.
Well, we're doing her.
I'm so sorry.
Daisy. We're doing a formula supplement, but I know, the breast milk is.
Can I ask how you're feeding the formula to Daisy?
In a bottle.
Are you squeezing it from across the room, or are you putting it in Daisy's mouth?
In her mouth.
Okay, that's all right. I'm just trying.
What are you talking about? Why would I shoot?
I'm just basing it on what your original understanding of how this works is.
Well, the bottle isn't connected to the body. Sure, it has a N.
Don't say the word.
PPLE on it, but it's not an actual literal N * PPLE.
This might be. I'm just want to sort of step away. Can I ask collectively how many of you grew up in houses that might be seen as a little more conservative, modest?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Everyone?
May I raise my hand?
Yes, of course. You can raise your
hand. My hand is up, yes.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Didn't want anyone to think I was going to, attack them or anything.
Right.
Like that.
So let me ask this. How was bathing handled in your family? Like when you're children, when you're little infants or, 2 or 3 and you needed some help bathing, how was that handled in your families?
Well, my mom, never my dad, would put me in the bathtub.
Okay.
And then set a timer.
Right.
And then she would leave and lock the door, and I would clean myself up or not. And that was how it was handled.
Was it ever dangerous? Because that sounds extremely dangerous, that situation.
Well, I feel like there was a hospital a couple of times, but I don't really remember.
Okay.
But I seemed mostly clean. I was a clean child.
Uh-huh. And let me just delve a little deeper. To this day, do you still feel like you have to be alone and locking the door? And
yes, I do the same system. I set myself a timer, and I close the door, and I turn the lights off, and then I take a shower.
Okay, I'm going to share something with all of you. I actually bathe my daughter. I'm there. She's in the bathtub. I'm outside the bathtub because it's easier for me. She has no clothes on when I bathe her. I'm fully clothed.
No bathing suit?
No, because you have to. It's really important to clean the. I'm going to say a word that might shock all of you: the genital area and the
Whoa.
anus and stuff. I mean, because the child has no control.
I
over
don't think my baby has genitals yet. I don't think that's how
I
it
can guarantee you. I can guarantee you that they do, all of you. And because I clocked this early on. Someone said genitals don't come until puberty. That's not true.
Yes.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Okay. So
Wow.
my next question is, how many of you have ever, when you were children, did you ever look at your body underneath your clothes at any point?
Oh, well, I would relatively frequently. You get curious and stuff. And then I would just report it to mom and dad and just let them know that I was doing that, so that they would know it wasn't anything like untoward thoughts or confusions I was having.
And was there any repercussions for that, or
No, I just had to write. I just had to write about it, and report it. And to that point, a little bit with like bodies and curiosity and stuff like that, and even relationships. I'm wondering when my 3-year-old has his play dates. I obviously don't let them close the door.
yeah, for safety reasons, because they can hurt themselves.
No nonsense behind that door, right? No nonsense behind that door. We had an open doors rule in my house, so that you would always know what was going on.
Okay.
But then they're so loud.
What can you explain the loudness? Like, is it?
It's like, laughing and dropping blocks and stuff like that. And I'm trying to watch TV or read my magazines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to close the door so they're not so loud. But obviously, I've already given the boy a talking to about I have a gun, a knife, and a daughter, and I'm not afraid to use the first two to protect the third one.
Okay. I don't think that's appropriate. What you just said, you're basically threatening your child with a gun and a knife.
No, the boy.
The boy. Okay, and you're going to threaten.
Protect my child.
Are you threatening your boy with your daughter? I don't understand that. And the list of
it's on the shirt. It's on the back of the shirt. I have a gun, a knife, and a daughter.
Yeah, I understand.
I would use the first two to protect the third one. The daughter, even though she's in the list, is not one of the weapons.
I wasn't at this point. Anything is possible, and so I would get rid of that T-shirt, and I would stop saying that to your children.
This has not been helpful at all to me.
I don't know. I don't know if I can continue to work with this.
They're called bathing suits because you wear them in the bath.
No, it's just an old term. It's an old term. There's no way.
You're a pervert.
No, absolutely not.
You're just a horny pervert coming in here trying to rape us.
That's what it is.
You're trying to get us to have an orgy in here.
No. Now you're extrapolating way beyond.
What does that mean?
You wanted me to take my shirt off.
I don't. Please, and you're doing it. I didn't ask you to do that.
Well, you told me the shirt doesn't work.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I mean, not right now. Not right.
Could you give me a bath and show me how it works appropriately?
Absolutely
I think
not.
that'd be very helpful for me.
There's no way.
Interesting. So where the rubber meets the road.
Hey, folks, it's a Man Dog Pod. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Dan Lippert, with my co-host, Ryan Rosenberg. How's it going, Ryan?
It's going pretty well. How are you, Dan?
I'm good. We have our guests here who everybody heard. I think both first-time guests. We're excited to have them.
Yeah,
Gene Villepique. Hi, Gene.
Hi, Dan.
And Brian Huskey. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
We just started. Thank you, Brian. We just started recording in this room, and in my dumb little brain this morning when I was walking around, I was like, Mark Maron calls his studio the Cat Ranch. Gonna have to have a name for this room at some point when we start recording here, so we can really let the audience know where we're recording from.
Right.
And don't suggest anything that's going to be insulting to me as you're looking around to try to think of a name.
The dump hole.
The dump hole.
Like,
That's
how about
good.
not enough wallpaper?
The Dog Palace.
Dog palace.
Yeah, the Dog Palace is on the same zone.
Yeah.
How about the Bro Cave?
You're in the bro cave.
In the bro cave. That's going to get a specific kind of audience listening.
I feel like that is a funny shift that has happened. Like, bro used to be kind of like friendly or like, oh, bros.
Yeah,
it's just friends. But now it's like, bro pretty much means douchebag. I feel like you don't want to be a bro anymore. You just need to be like a regular man.
Yeah. If you're a tech bro, a Bitcoin bro, or whatever. Yeah.
What do you think bros think about that? Like someone who you would consider to be a bro, if someone was like, this dude's a bro, would they be like, yeah, I am? Or would they
Right.
be...
I guess my instinct is that true bros are homophobic. And if you ask them to even take a look at the word bro, they'd be like, I'm not gay. Like, I feel like it would bring up a weird, like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, I wasn't saying that at all. I was
Yeah.
saying-
We don't have any words for anything.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't really ask someone to define it or pin it down.
They would be very confused by even debating it, I think.
Why do you ask such weird questions?
I know.
Like, it's that like defensive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to your point, why you ask such gay questions?
Yeah.
I now, as I was thinking about it, I was like, maybe someone would call me a bro. Maybe like if you don't know who the bro is in the room, it's you kind of thing. Like, I'm wondering what mine would be that I would like push back on. Or if someone's like defined me in a way that they saw me that I was like, oh, that's not how I saw myself at all.
Right.
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about like this happened in Vegas and it came up because we're
That's
two like
very broy already.
Yeah,
Very-
exactly.
Yes.
And we're like two like bigger white dudes with facial hair. And so everybody kind of starts interactions with us expecting it to be a problem. and then when we're a little nice, they like really soften in a way that's like, it feels like a nice way to move through the world. And also like, oh man, what is the rest of your day like? If you were that scared of us just like walking up to get something from the concierge or whatever at the hotel.
There's this guy, I've been doing this like drop-in acting scene class thing, and so it has a rotation of random, like a new person will drop in for a month and they'll go away. And there's this new guy named Dukes. He's super great.
No.
I know. Super great. But everything about Dukes is like, oh my God, this guy is a Trump supporter, potential misogynist. Like all the tropes are there because he is gigantic. He's got a shaved head. Goes by Dukes. He has a Southern accent. He drives an F-150. But he is a phenomenal actor, and he is totally none of those things. But he has everything that you would just be like, oh my God, this guy's going to kill me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Do you think he was ever once like that and then moved to LA and like was like, oh, I'll drop the bad stuff?
Maybe. I mean, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like if he grew up, in Louisiana and he was just sort of like, all right, I'm going to go chase my dream. And so he's been having to carry the persona or, he's just like in the persona and stuff.
Right.
But for me, it's like, it's really hard to turn that off, like my judgment, my self-protective judgment and stuff.
Right.
He's very strong too.
Well, it's also like
He wrestled you in the acting class?
But he like pat me on the back one time and I was like, oh my God. He just kind of moved me forward, just like not knowing the weight of his arm.
well, there's a feeling I think for especially improvisers or like artists where those people like it's like if a supermodel is funny, you're like, you don't get to have that too. Like
Yeah.
I get to be like my response in the world to being that is that I'm funny or I'm an artist or something like that. So if someone has all of those things, it's a real shakeup of what's normal.
I know.
Yeah, you can't be self-aware if you're gonna like look that buff and imposing if you're Dukes.
Yeah, I was impressed by how quickly Dukes could muster tears. Like I was like, oh, he's a crier. He can cry in a scene.
my God.
Wow.
I know.
So yeah, Dukes is more in touch with the sensitive side than I am.
Yeah.
I just
not fair.
went to an audition where I realized as I was there it was essentially for weird-looking people. I was like, oh, I'm no offense to everyone that was there also, but I was like, we all are not the normal look.
Right.
And these two guys came in who they were like super buff twin brothers, dressed kind of similarly in like tight clothes, and also had alopecia, so like no hair. And I was so red, and they kind of moved kind of like meticulously in a way that I was like, oh no, these guys are like LA buff weirdos. And so I made that judgment right away. And a different woman in the waiting room was like, "Where are you guys from?" And they were like, "Boston." And they started chatting, and we were so nice and cool. And I was like, oh, yeah. Again, I just kind of like wanted to have an opinion of these guys. And it's a commercial edition. So literally people like learned how to make money by looking away that you know what you're going to, you have an expectation of them.
Yeah.
So those guys just figured that out. They were like, "Oh, we're twins. Let's get buff." Go to LA and just get all the buff twin jobs.
I had the opposite because I just went to a trip to South Carolina with my girlfriend, like down at the beach and stuff, and we met a bunch of her family, and so I met her cousin's husband, and I was chatting with them, and they had all been, except for him, been out at the beach, and I had like hung out with played with his daughter and my girlfriend's niece and stuff in the water. And I was like, "Oh, Talila's so sweet. She's so awesome and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, I love her so much." And so we like bonded on having daughters, and then we both played bass. So we talked about that, and we talked about being creative and how important it was. And I was like, "This guy's great." And then hard jarring right turn out of nowhere. At one point he brought up education, and he's like, "And do not tell me that critical race theory is how I should feel or think about the past that never happened." And I was like, whoa,
oh my God.
I did not see this coming. And it just was like, it's the same thing. I was just like, oh man, inside of us is lots of secrets.
Right.
That is such a hard left. And like the feeling in him of like, "Oh, we're simpatico. I can finally share this opinion that people don't like about me because I bet this guy will agree with me."
Finally, another racist artist that I can talk to about how I really feel.
Tex, Rhonda, I gotta say, your son's doing really well in school, and
Yeah, he is.
He's not a social butterfly, he's pretty shy.
No, he wouldn't be a butterfly.
Oh, okay. How would you define him?
Social wasp, something like that. Social, like one of those black flies. Horsefly. Thanks, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't
They
correcting
come
me.
in when the wind blows backwards at the beach.
Yeah. Just to be clear, she wasn't correcting me. She was helping me out.
Oh yeah, I didn't even take it that way, and even if she was, I think that's okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
With Little Appaloosa with your boy, I was expecting maybe something of you two, and we're here in Berkeley, and you just don't seem like the type of people that would live here. But I love how sweet you've been this whole time, and thank you so much for that.
Why wouldn't we live in? Oh, I'm a little confused.
Oh, you just have such a like. I'm trying to be sensitive here, but I'm trying to share my feelings. You have such a southern Texas. I mean, your name is Tex. Kind of idiot vibe.
Hold on.
There's got to be a better word.
Hold on. There's got to be a better word. How about classic Faulknerian essence that emanates from my legacy?
I am shocked at how well said that was.
Well, I got a T-shirt that says that, so that's why I memorized it.
Classic Faulknerian essence.
Yeah. I got one. I got a gun, I got a knife, and I got a daughter. And I don't remember the rest of that one, but that one I do remember because I wear it a lot.
I again have to apologize, and I'm learning so much about myself, and maybe even about how the other students respond to your son a little bit, because he is so of your ilk and almost of a different time. But just going through this, I was wondering if you all would like to come on the field trip. We need some more, what's the word, chaperones, if either of you are available.
Oh, I'll do that.
You gonna do that, sweet?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be coming along there, and I'll be guarding those children. Sure.
Great guarding them.
Yeah. Can she pack heat? Like, where are y'all going in? How deep are y'all going into?
This is
Also,
just
he can ask that as a question and say it as a statement.
Yeah.
Can she pack heat?
Yeah. Can
Right?
she pack heat?
And I don't know how I can respond to that without maybe crossing a boundary, but I do think you can pack heat to one of the answers, but not the other one. I don't think you should bring a gun. It's just at the Exploratorium in San Francisco. So
hold up. I'm trying not to curse on the school grounds, but effing hold up. What are you exploring? Because there's certain things we do not want him exploring.
This is like science stuff. So it's like you touch a thing and your hair goes up.
Nope, not gonna happen. Not
do you do
real.
creationism exploration?
Yeah.
Speciation?
Christian Science.
I gotta say, this is so much closer to what I thought. You would be like. You contain so many multitudes.
Yeah.
The creationists, like anti. I'm losing my words because I'm so anxious.
We're getting
around
a
you
sense.
two.
Here's the thing. We're getting a sense from Appaloosa that when he's at school, he's starting to have his own thoughts and ideas and identity and stuff. And when he comes back to us, it's like, oh, so much work. It's so much work to get him back on track.
Yeah, that's so interesting because you're so well read, both of you, but also want him to be that way. So I think he should have larger ideas, and you're the ones that moved him to Berkeley. I imagine.
Well, because of our passion for recycling.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing, I mean, it's how we met.
Yeah,
it's
and
all we care about.
I'm a big fan of the '60s counterculture that blossomed here, and that kind of rebellious spirit that has been co-opted and turned into sort of garbage media, fodder. And I think that the original intents of let's just say Jerry Garcia and his band of merry pranksters, that they were originally like leading us towards the charge to take back America and make it what it once was.
That is so well said. I can't not be shocked that you have those thoughts and opinions and knowledge.
Mommy, Daddy, look, I killed a raccoon.
Look, there he comes.
Oh, the Appaloosa will be all right.
Yeah, there
I was
he is.
outside and I killed a little raccoon.
That's
How's
good.
the meeting going?
That's just going real good, son. We're having a real good time meeting.
I'm
you.
sorry.
Good,
Could you put the hunting knife away? Actually, let me take the hunting knife. You're actually not allowed to have weapons like that on a campus. You can't pack heat. Your mom can't pack heat. You can pack heat.
I sure can.
In one sense, but not in the other sense.
Excuse me. I just saved the principal's life.
Yeah.
Oh,
The principal was in a fight with the raccoon and I saved him.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
My knife back, please.
Wow, who's making assumptions? Who is making assumptions right now?
I am so sorry. I grew up in Berkeley. My parents were professors here. I went to film school here. I learned about semiotics. I haven't been.
God.
I don't know the world as much as
You ever
you
take a
all.
life? You ever hunt and kill the animal that you eat, or do you just buy plastic rat meat?
I've never killed an animal. No. I'm.
Wow, so you're a big part of the problem. You're like really funding this sort of like mass generated, like what's it like the I don't know, the animal food industry. It's not for animal food. So how do you help me with
Well, I'm going to say the endoplastic industry. What's happening is you don't want to touch anything or see anything. So you're creating garbage that is choking our oceans, choking our rivers, choking the elk that we want to pull limb from limb
Yep.
when we're hunting.
And what I'm seeing right now with little Appaloosa is we got dinner. Thank you so much, son.
You're welcome. Absolutely. I'll skin it. I'll cook it, and I'll eat some raccoon tonight. No
That's
problem.
disgusting. That's disgusting.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
You know what I think is disgusting? Your bright yellow Hummer H3. You drive
What
a
the-
Hummer around Berkeley?
Is that the one that was parked right next to our BXZ4 new Toyota with that lithium battery that gets 724 to a 10-minute charge?
Yeah, I think
that's
it
right.
is.
But it's a hybrid Hummer.
Oh,
And-
fuck off. It is not. I'm saying that on this campus. They don't make those.
See? The Exploratorium was on my mind because I obviously, after I see a historical movie like Oppenheimer, I have to read about everybody involved in it and the true story of it all. And his brother started the Exploratorium.
Wow.
Do you all know that place?
Who, Oppenheimer's
Oppenheimer's brother, yeah.
Penance for the
Oh, a
horror.
place where
The family
kids can
does
learn
nice
science.
things.
Yeah. If you don't know it, it doesn't really matter.
It's a
but
cool place.
it
I've
is.
been there. I went on
It
a
is a
field
cool
trip
place.
there as a kid, and it's like it really does make you go like, science is fun. You know,
Is that the one that has where you can ride out on the thing over the lobby? There's some
Like
know.
a zip line thing?
it's
or
like a It's basically like a recumbent bike that's on this cable, and I don't know what it's demonstrating. But
that does sound familiar.
Maybe it's not the Exploratorium. It's the one that is it down by USC? Is
The
that where it
cube,
is?
the big cube.
Oh no, it's further out.
The Exploratorium's up. It's in San Francisco.
Oh,
but
okay.
I know the thing you're.
Oh, I thought you were
haven't
talking-
been to that place.
Gotcha.
I
That's
have
cool.
been there. It's in a dome,
then-
like on the end of on the top of it. Yeah, we went there with our cousins. Yeah, that's a pretty great place.
It's fun.
I went there and saw a Pixar exhibit where they had like all of the animation that Pixar ever did, and it was like a little museum or whatever. It wasn't fun.
No,
I thought it would be. I was
took
like,
away
oh,
the
I love
magic of
Pixar.
it?
This would be great. Yeah, and it was just like, oh, this is for children. This isn't good.
The animation, like little cell. I guess it wouldn't be cells anymore.
Yeah, it was just
Or-
like it would have like a little poster and then be like, they had difficulties making Buzz Lightyear's helmet because of shiny stuff is hard, or you know, whatever it was. And that's how well it was written too. It was just that bad.
Lots of
This is due
ellipses.
tomorrow.
There is like such a quality to museums for everything for children, or this place called Kids Space where it's like designed so creatively and it makes learning very fun and engages them on many levels. And it just feels like societally, like, okay, once you're 17 or something, like then it's just hard and you're not allowed to be playful that way. And a friend of mine in Chicago and I used to be like, there should be adult camp, like where you get to go, or they should make like, I guess they do make water slides big enough for grown-ups.
They do have adult camp. I don't know if it's the same thing. The little, I read some little profile thing on it, and it sounded like it was just one step away from like, and then you can hook up later on. But it's like, but it is like the camp aspect was like, there's crafts, and then there's like playing on the water and tug of war and all this kind of stuff, and their whole thing.
Or your creativity and inner child. Or
Yeah, I think it was. I
something.
mean, it really kind of spoke to like, do you work for a company for the past 20 years?
Oh.
Then you need to go out and do something else. You know,
Right.
Like, really speaking to that stuff.
Is that the thing you kind of think, like the zone of just like you don't get to be playful anymore at a certain age, or like just be like kind
that
of
it's
frivolous?
like that it's some sort of like destination, or like we'll go to Six Flags and then we'll go play, but then we'll go home, or like learning is like sitting still and focused or whatever, instead of like being creative, or I don't know, being playful or engaging in a
My
playful way.
daughter's gonna do physics next year, and she hates science stuff, and I was selling her on. I was like, physics is actually cool because you get to do weird experiments, and it's you'll drop a ball and it'll hover in the air or whatever. And so she's like, oh, okay, that's interesting, because it is like it's the physical experience of it versus the theoretical. Like chemistry, she's like, I mean, we'd mix stuff and it would bubble up, but I couldn't remember why. I don't know why.
That was my experience with chemistry. Is like I'm not good at learning things. I don't know, that don't have like that I can't figure out the practical application or something like that. I don't know.
I feel like if somebody, I mean, I'm only now getting slightly better at cooking and understanding the components of it. But if somebody could sort of like draw that line of like, all right, chemistry is recipes,
Right.
Yeah.
kind of make
Right.
it.
What is the functional reason you're learning this stupid crap?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Totally. Because
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like if I'm interested, great. I'm a good learner and whatever. But if I'm not interested, I just feel like it's a chore.
Yeah.
It's like folding clothes or doing dishes. It's like, I don't want to read about this.
We had in 7th grade, our chemistry teacher was Dolly Hickman, and she was like legendary because she was missing the first 2 joints of her like ring finger because it got burned off by acid in class.
Oh my God.
Yes.
On school ground.
And so it was like, yeah, and so everybody's like, oh my God, it's so badass. But then everybody's like, I don't want to do a class with her.
Yeah. I don't want to take her acid class, really.
Just like imagine she's just really sloppy and
Yeah,
spilling
yeah.
stuff and
Welcome back to Hands On with Acid.
gesturing wildly.
It's like don't trust a thin chef. Like,
Yeah.
don't trust a chemistry teacher without the joints in their hands anymore.
We had this teacher, Mr. Foot, or no, Mrs. Foot. He was
Whoa.
Mr. Ferry, Don Ferry. And I mean, you would never call him a fairy. He was a football coach, and he was missing part of his finger, but he cut it off to avoid the draft.
Oh, whoa.
And then he taught history, because I was from a really small town where like this guy who went to high school with my mom, Joel Malitsky, was like the wrestling coach, but he taught sex ed. And he was like, you put the pill between your knees and you never let it fall. Like,
Really?
It was just anybody could teach. So
Wait, what?
Coach
Why are you putting a
Ferry-
pill between your knees?
Oh, like women go on the pill. Oh, sorry, it's birth control. Sorry,
Okay.
And you hold it between your knees, and that's how you don't get pregnant. And this was like,
Oh, I get
The
it.
idea
I
of
like
being
a joke,
never
but then he never really
in
gave
your
us
legs.
the true information. And so Mr. Ferry taught world history, which I'm sure was like a bunch of sand and then buildings came. Like, I don't know what he taught, but he had
The plot of
an
Inception.
affair with this woman, Mrs. Foot. I mean, it was just like the weirdest small town
Whoa.
thing.
Ferry and
But he
Foot.
had no finger, and she was the most serious person. I can't imagine them having any sort of sex.
She was hilarious in bed.
Maybe
That's what it
maybe he just woke up.
He's like, I have a foot fetish.
How do you end up with your name being Mrs. Foot? Like
Right.
like when did they start being like, that's a good last name, keep it? Like someone had to be the first one. You know
Yeah,
how they
I mean,
say
it-
like your name is Smith because you were a blacksmith or
Right.
whatever. Like this person just had a big foot, or what is the
It wasn't
deal
even
there?
Foote or like
It was literally
just
foot.
Maybe it was shortened from Fatowski or something. Maybe it was like an
Yeah.
Ellis Island. Like,
What
Right.
did you have teachers who didn't have their fingers? I had two separate teachers with like hand things also.
No.
Really?
What is it with teachers? Yeah.
We had an administrator with like sort of a locked up hand, but it was all there. But
Yeah.
it was
Maybe
kinda
it's just
locked
like
up.
it's just bound to happen, and as a kid, you're gonna remember it because
Yes.
it's like
That's
you're looking for
what it is.
anything.
I didn't learn a
that is-
single other thing about that person
Yeah.
other than like their hand or whatever. Yeah.
I'm looking over your resume, and it's really impressive. Like you've got a strong educational background. You've done some social work. I feel like you could really fit in well here at our school because
Thank you very much.
At our school, the kids come first.
Of course.
I just I would like to move you to the next round where you meet some of the other administrators, but just real fast, if I could just see your hands, you just hold those out.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. It's
Okay, so you
here
have.
we go.
Are any of these fake digits, or any of these? Is any of this?
No, they're all my original natural hands.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm a little lost. I thought it was going so well. Now you seem a little bit
I'm sorry, I just have to make a note here.
okay. Are you looking for me to have fake digits or not, or
It would be preferable.
Okay.
We've found at our school that if there's some element to your body, and traditionally it's just been with the hands, but if there's some element that the kids can sort of like either build a mythology around,
Right.
or sort of like there's a question about your past and how you came to be this way.
excuse me, Tom. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, sure.
I found,
Hey,
this is your
Shauna.
glove with no thumb. I found it in my desk, which is so funny, but I
That's-
know it's yours.
I know. Sorry, I was in there. I was filming a YouTube video, and I had to use your desk, and so I just said, your desk is so much
You're
nicer
welcome
than
to
mine.
it. You're welcome to it. And
Yeah.
I know it might be snowing soon. So you just take it back.
Thank
and,
you so much.
You got it.
Hey, if you'd subscribe, I'd really appreciate it.
You got it, Tom Thumb.
Thank you.
Les.
wow,
So we have
what a
fun.
nice rapport you guys had. That was great.
That's Shauna. She's great.
Yeah.
She teaches world history, and
yeah.
And
Well, and I see now why the finger thing is so important to you.
yeah. Did you notice anything about Shauna when she came in?
Well, she was very kind, very helpful.
And she has no posterior.
I didn't notice that. She was
She
wearing
does-
sort of a puffy dress, so
Mhm.
I didn't.
Yep.
So no posterior.
Absolutely no glutinous muscles back there. None
Right.
at all.
Wow. That is really, really fascinating. I'm sure the kids have a field day with her. I'm sure they're paying attention in her class.
Well, they are, and she falls down a lot because those muscles apparently help with mobility
Sure.
and stuff. But she wanted this job so badly that she said, "Well, who, what areas have people not, altered themselves for?"
Right. Well, just I see where you're going, and just to put my hat back in the ring, I do have
Sure.
a large mole that is on the top of my head, underneath my hair,
Okay.
and I would be happy to go with a short haircut to sort of show off the mole. It would stand up about a little quarter of an inch, maybe.
You know
Mole head, mole teacher, mole.
It's just make a quick note here on the.
Okay, that's
phone.
not working. I guess.
You know what? You chatted with me enough. I think maybe it's time for you to talk to our principal. I'm just a vice principal here. That's why I do those YouTube videos.
Hey, I would have believed you were the full principal.
No,
you carry yourself well.
No. I do.
I'm getting the thumb wave.
And
I'm
here
getting the high four.
Here he is. Come on in.
Hey, how's it going? I heard great things about you.
Oh, thank you. Very nice to meet you, Principal. Principal Johnson?
Principal Johnson, but most of the kids call me Principal Ear.
Okay, hi
I'm
there.
sure you can see why.
Yep. Yeah. You only
He's
have
sort of the Van Gogh of principals.
That's funny. That's funny.
You gotta. Have you done that on one of your YouTubes yet?
I sure did.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing it back.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Please. Yeah, please.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to subscribe. I think I have to start an account, which I don't really want to do.
Yeah, I think so. But if you're able to watch it, I think you can. I'm not sure. Just if
let me know in the email.
I will.
Step by step. 'Cause I'd
You're
love
on the
to help
chain,
you.
right? I feel like a bunch of them have bounced back.
Well, Principal, it's very nice to meet
I
you.
feel like you've been giving me not a real email.
Let me get you my email after this. I'll get you my email.
I should have it because we work together.
Tom, so sorry. Oh, hey, Chuck.
Hey, how's it going?
Did you hear that?
What?
I'm glad you're
Sorry,
here.
when you're done, let me ask you a question.
Let me just burrow my way in here with my little mole.
I barely.
What?
I
It's
beg your
big.
pardon?
It's a large
Oh.
mole for mole. For mole. It's not a missing ass.
I'll try to catch them up. He has a mole on his head. He was offering to have that taken off.
Mr. Mole.
Anyway, someone left a chair in my room. I just wanted to return it
Thank you.
on my desk.
Thank you.
That's a growth.
You can go home to your husband. I know you've been having some trouble at home, but it feels like you're really looking for a lot of stuff in your room to return. Is everything going on all right there?
Oh, well, we've had we struggled with my removal. I mean, it was a choice, but he's a spanker, and it's kind of a he's got this nickname Bam Bam with his friends, and I don't know. So we're working it out.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's certainly a challenge.
having like a 10-minute conversation every night about it. A mole is a growth, not something that was removed.
Okay.
So I don't
you're
know
totally
who you
right.
think you are.
I was just caught off guard.
Sean,
I don't mean to offend you.
Sean,
You've
it is
clearly
an
done a lot
adjustment.
more.
You remember that you had to go through some stages of acceptance.
I think I resent you a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's okay. I understand why, and I apologize. I'm very, very sorry. I respect
Accept it.
the choice that you've made, and maybe I need to make a choice like that. Maybe I, to work here, maybe I'll go get a short surgery,
Oh,
but only on one
okay.
leg, and I'll spin around as I walk a little or something.
Well, I mean, it has to be something that resonates with you. I mean, for me, what I sacrificed for the kids was I have you heard my laugh, right? I am an enthusiastic gentleman, and I was known for giving a big old thumbs up to just about everything. And so now it just looks like I'm sort of like holding my fist up towards people's faces, and I have to explain that. But that every time I go through that experience and I explain myself and I have to explain the place I work to strangers, it reminds me it's about the kids. I'm doing it for the kids. Okay?
Right,
We're
right.
all doing this for the kids.
Right.
Shauna
Absolutely.
is standing here without control of her bowels right now. Shauna, you're going to the bathroom.
Thank you.
For the kids. All right? The principal sacrificed his hearing for the kids.
I'll just slide a newspaper
For
over
the
there.
kids.
Thank you.
We love the kids.
For the kids.
One way to think about this is what is something you don't think you could live without? Something you love. you know?
Right.
For
Right.
me, I love the sound of my wife's an opera singer, and the sound of her singing when I get home, and I can't.
You can only hear half of it.
I only hear half of it
And it's because you love her singing.
because I love it. Yeah,
Tom
so
hitchhiked across the country when he was 20.
it's a big part of his
Wow.
personality.
I'm going to clean myself. I'll be back.
Okay.
Excuse me.
It's you can do it in here or whatever. We're pretty liberal about that
I
stuff.
prefer not to.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Well, what? Okay.
You're passionate about it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. What am I
passionate.
passionate about? Well, When I was younger, I did bicycle a lot. I got really into cycling, and that takes a lot of leg strength, and I would hate to not be able to do that.
Are you going to have your waist removed? Because you can't ride on a bike without a waist, because it's not going to support your upper and your lower.
That's
section.
true. Yeah, I was thinking something a little smaller, but I could have my waist.
We mostly do like plastic surgeries, like lap bands and things like that. Is this a weight loss thing?
I assume I'll lose some weight. Yeah, but it's really just I want to fit in at my new school.
So you'd like your waist removed?
Yes, if I could be sort of two separate halves. That would be great.
I could do that.
That'd be great.
Maybe a spring in the middle. A spring that connects my top and bottom.
Oh, funny.
Oh, the kids would love that.
Yeah.
The kids would love that.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, let's go for it.
So we're going to remove your waist?
Yeah, unless you guys think that's a bad idea.
I mean, here's what's on the table. I'm just going through like some of the other educators here. No one has had their spine removed. Their waist is still intact. I mean, people have been dropping limbs right and left, so there's nothing there. You could be a faceless instructor.
That's interesting.
Which would be, I don't know if the kids would react well to that.
They've seen so much horrifying stuff. It would be an interesting thing to add to the.
What about just my nose? What if I just left my nose? I love to cook. I love smelling the food.
And you do wear glasses, so that would be.
I'd be constantly. They could call me. What's his name? Harry
Mr.
Potter.
Hill, I wanted to just talk to you about my grade really quick.
Sure. Yeah. Come on in, Tiffany. What's going on? What are you thinking?
I can't tell if you are being sarcastic or not. Do you really want me to tell you what I'm thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What's going on?
Well, you gave me a B-, and I try really hard, and I got A's on a lot of my stuff. And then in my oral presentation, I got a C, and I just think you couldn't see any of the visual stuff I was doing because you have no eyes and stuff. And Emily did that whole smelling thing, and she got an A, and I don't think that's fair.
Okay. Well, I think you're right. You're right. I didn't see any of your presentation at all, and I was guessing on the grade. Why don't I go ahead and adjust that right now?
You're writing on your wall. You're not writing on my paper.
Okay. Why don't you direct me to the paper? Because I believe you. And
I'm sorry to interrupt. You're in my office right now. I don't know if you were aware of it. I just thought.
I'm at the school, though.
You are at the school.
Okay.
Finally, you've showed up.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Emily, sorry. I know that this is confusing for you, but you're getting a great education here, sweetheart.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was hoping about.
All right, so I'm giving you a thumbs up right now.
Fist bump?
Nope, it's a thumbs up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Honey, as I share my vows for all our friends and loved ones.
Wink. I have to say it now.
Thank you. This kind of speaks to what I was going to say is a marriage is all about, compromise for the one you love.
Aw, scrunching up my nose.
And finding the things that draw you to someone and that move you about them, and then accepting the other things. Like with me, you feel me, you let me feel so seen when I've always felt like I was too much for everybody else. And you took your face off to be a high school teacher.
A teacher, yeah, to take a pay cut to take that job.
And I've had, it's been a lot, but I do think in front of everybody, I could say that for the rest of my life, I would be happy to look at that no face because of everything else you provide for me.
Wow. Thank you, honey. Those are beautiful vows.
I'm sorry. I'm the father. And I have to say something. Sweetheart, please don't marry him. Please. I think it's a really bad. He has no face. And
Your dad's just jealous.
I can't explain this.
Your dad
Jealous of what?
He's clearly jealous. He shaved his leg and now he's trying to be interesting. Look at my body mod. You got to go a little further, Daddy.
I'm a cyclist, which you used to do when you could see where you're going.
When I was boring.
Okay.
I was boring.
Now he's
you
insulting
shaved your
me.
legs. Cool, Daddy-o.
You're not even facing me. You understand that? Like, you're facing the completely opposite direction from everyone in the congregation.
What was
here.
the one thing I said today, Dad? Don't stand up and bring up that he has no face.
And you also said don't wear shorts, but I did that. Nobody tells me what to do.
So you're an asshole twice, is what you're saying.
I'm a man. All right, I am a fucking man.
Yeah, I used to be one too, and then the school was gonna fire me, so I made some other changes.
Okay, I hear your point, but I love him. Okay, and you know what? Maybe I'm doing this because, in a sense, metaphorically, you've never shown me your real face. Yeah, I was raised by a faceless.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what?
What?
I know, what the hell?
That's why you're with me?
Because,
That's not okay with me. I want love. I
Whoa,
love
good
you.
luck. Good luck.
Excuse me, your hair is weird.
You can't.
Hey, that's our family hair. All right. The pubis has had that hairstyle for years.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. We've all gotten really out of control today. Honey, I love you. And I don't want my teaching career to get in the way of that. I'll do whatever body modification you need for me to be your husband.
I've accepted your passion. I would prefer you have a face, but
What if I flatten the top of my head? I'll
not-
shave my skull so you could set a drink on top of it. I could carry a drink around for you.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to get a quick pic. Smile. Or
Really?
Can't do it.
See it.
Can't do it.
ain't gonna happen.
Folks, another man dog has happened, and you've heard it, and thank you for listening.
Yes.
What a blast. Thanks for being here. We've wanted to do this show with both of you for such a long time.
That's so
very much.
It's a
fun.
joy. I'm such a fan of each of you.
Likewise.
Gene, is there anything you'd like to plug or anywhere people can find you? No.
You can't plug anything that's been filmed or will be filmed, or you can't talk about any screenplays you're thinking about or
I
TV
can't.
shows.
Yeah, I'm on strike from plugging.
Yeah. It's endorsing.
What a great coincidence.
Yes, that's why I have nothing to plug.
Yeah, I've been on strike for about a decade now, and Hollywood just caught up with me. Brian, anywhere people can find you?
I mean, go to Instagram and you look up the Brian Huskey, and that happens to be me.
Great.
Also, I take photos that I like that no one else likes when I put it on my
love
feed. Oh, thanks. So I have another one called it's Photo Minor because I got a minor in photography.
Oh, very
So it's
cool.
spelled like MINOR, and so there's
What's your
pictures.
gear? What are you shooting on?
Just my phone. I need to get I want to get a camera, but I hate cameras.
Yeah.
So
In what sense? Like
I just don't like carrying them around
Yeah.
and but I do want to get one.
it is a lot.
It's contradictory.
Can I ask a question, or is it too late?
Please.
Are we wrapping up?
Please.
Do you go out to take? Do you take time to I'm going to go take some pictures, or is it always just like this struck me right now? I'm going to take it.
A mix. That's it. That's my answer.
Keith?
The artist
That's
is
it.
always arting. I love it.
Oh yeah. I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like sleepwalking. I take pictures and stuff. My
So
vision is
difficult.
relentless.
Oh God!
My vision is relentless.
Truly, sounds like it.
Well, thank you everybody so much for listening. You can catch the whole show at patreon.com/you're the man now dog. Big Grande also has some new stuff on Big Grande website. And I don't know. I think that's it. Dan, what do
I
you
think that's that. Yeah. Thanks everybody. We got a lot of new subscribers coming in. We appreciate the new people and also our old, what's it called? Our day ones.
Our
So
day
thank you.
ones.
And thanks again, Brian and Gene, for being
Thanks
here.
for having
Thanks,
us.
guys.
Great job,
So fun.
Stella.